Hey guys, hi everybody. Today I want to talk about light again. I did already a video about light, but I found out there's more about it. Not much more, but some people don't know how to light their scenes when it comes to something like lights here. You can see here the cat, the trash bin. They have all their own lights. And I want to show you how I did something like this. Not exactly this one, because I want to take another figure, but that you can see what I do to light my scenes. I don't use light presets, I don't buy them, I just use my own ones. So let's go for a Genesis 3 female base. And then we dress her up a little bit, nothing complicated, just for the purpose to show you what I do, how I light my scenes. Or nice pose. Over this. Something like this, why not? Okay, go to the NVIDIA Iray preview that we can follow faster. Let's wait a second for this to render. Here it goes. I go to render settings environment and I turn on the dome, the draw dome. You can see everything where the light comes from and how it affects our light. So you can see here the bright part comes from here. The light comes from this direction. You can see the shadow on the ground. So to the left side, it's the brightest part of this image. It's the sun here. This is the brightest part of the background. So we can now make a rotation if we want to have the light. To have the light from front. We can always indicate where the light comes from by the shadow. Yeah. You always know where the light is if you see the shadow. So now the shadow is behind her and the light comes from the front. If you don't want that, just move your light around, because I want it, for example, I like it better if I have it from somewhere behind her to give a nice bright line here on her arm, something on the hair, here on the leg. Looks pretty good. I like it this way. And I reduce the environment intensity. Something, yeah, let's halve it for the moment. I will turn it down later a little bit more. So next is I create a spotlight from the, I apply the active viewport from the camera. And then we can see through the spotlight. Yeah. So I get closer and I want to light up the front a little bit more. Something like this. Maybe a bit steeper. So, something like this. Let's see. From the spotlight, we go to the light tab and raise the intensity to 200, and then we play around with the luminous flux, with the lumen. So I made it brighter now. It's pretty good. It's not a bit too bright. It's 15,000. I reduce it to 12,000, and I lower this to 0.3. So this is already a decent light. It's very nice. Still we have those bright lines from, wait a second, 0.5. That's okay. We have the bright from here and here. If we do 0, of course we don't have any intensity from the environment, and we have only our spotlight. So play with the settings until you have it how you want it. And this is something I like, 0.2, and I'll reduce this a little bit more to 10,000 perhaps. Getting better. 8,000. Okay, that's something cool already, looking good, but it's not all. This is, I call the main light. This is a little bit rim light from the left, and this is a main light to us, to our figure. And what I want to add is a primitive now. Create new primitive, the plane, and y positive. You can leave the size and divisions by 1 and detect it. And you have here, you have the plane. Select it, move it up, and rotate it -x direction, something like this. And set that translation a bit behind her and out of the screen, out of our viewport. So now we have the plane right behind her, and the light what we emissive here in a minute will go directly to her hair. So we have a nice light on her top and her shoulders. Go back to camera. So select the plane, go to surface tab, select the plane and make it emissive. Now we have a light, but it needs some tweaking. First I put this amount of the temperature to 6500. 6500 means white. So with this setting I can choose the color of light from here. Good thing is you can always see, and you have much more variation of colors here. So here you can, I will show you in a minute, you can set the setting here as well, but it's now, you can get no green out of it. For example, you can get tones from red via yellow to blue, and but no green, for example. So then we turn to satellite on, because I have not taken care of in what direction the plane shows. So it could be, if this is off, the light will only go to the top, to the back side. So it's not what we want. If we turn it on, the pulse will go to both directions. The light will go to both directions. Go back to the camera. And then I leave the 5000 here and set this to kilocandela. CD means candela per square meters. That means how many candles you need to light 1 square meter. Candela is candle. So, and kilocandela means 1000 candles. So this will be very, very bright immediately, and it's not what we want. But I use always kilocandela with low numbers. So no, 500 here in this case. It depends on how far the plane is away from her head. Yeah. So if we lower the plane a little bit more, so you can see here the plane already comes in. It will be brighter then. Yeah. So we move it away a little bit again. Now we have here the nice light, and we have also here a nice line on her shoulders and arms. Yeah, looks good already to me. So what we need next is another primitive, plane, this time in Z positive, except. So Z positive means it stands on the ground, and we scale it in Y to make it a little bit bigger. It's almost her size. We rotate in Y-axis to something like this in this case. So we split her body in half, and then we move it back, out. So we don't see it anymore. Rotate it back, go to perspective view, and see if it lights her a little bit. Not really. So we go to Z-axis. So this is the direction. Rotate it a bit more. So now the light, you can see, goes to her back here. This is not the light, that is only from this material reflecting the white plane here, on what's really a good effect at the moment, but we don't want this, we want to have a light here. And so again, choose a plane, go to Surface tab, choose a plane here, script emissive. If you don't have the emissive script, of course you have it in your content library, shader presets, Iray, DAZ Überbase, emissive. Yeah, that's just right click here, create custom action, and with this you will have the emissive here. Yeah, that's way faster to work. It's nothing else. So now that I made it emissive, I do the same as before with the other plane. Both two-sided light, 6500 kilo. So you can see now it's a bright light here. And we lower it, of course, something like 500 or less, 250 or less. So, and if you don't want to have the reflection here, you can make it a ghost light. Ghost light means it's not visible to the viewport, it's not visible to the camera. And you can do it by choosing cutout opacity. Click here, then put something like 0 point, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros, and a 1. You need a 1 at the end. So now it's almost invisible, so it's no reflection of the light anymore. You can see the light is not enough now anymore. So we raise the luminance of 100 to 500, and now this area is lightened up from the light, and that is exactly what we want. So and now we can put her in some surrounding, back alley. I hope it works. There it is. So of course we need to go down, down, down. So now she stands on the ground. Looks pretty good already. Let's see. Something like this, and we can rotate her to our direction. So let's see, further out, and the plane on top, more to the top. Or also we could, if you have a situation where it's not possible to raise the plane to anywhere else, of course you can make it a ghost light. Yeah, 0.12345 1. So ghost light means it will give the light to the scene, but without being visible. The plane is invisible now, and it gives some light to the scene. You need to raise your light then a little bit, if you make it invisible, because you have no areas that gives much light, so you need to raise the luminance by 2 or 3, and so multiply by 2 or 3, and then you have still the light from top here. Okay, that's all. More or less, that's all how you can light up and make some kind of natural light. You will see if you turn this off now. It's only, the scene is completely lit by our lights, by our light sources, 2 planes and the spotlight. So there's no other light from the environment. If we set the environment back to 1, you will see it's kind of way too bright because it's not natural, and we wanted to make a evening scene, at least I wanted that, and that's how you can go. Now you can play around with the tone mapping, of course. You can crush blacks. Crush black means making dark areas darker, and you can crush white also, means bright area will be brighter, so you have more contrast in it. Yeah, but don't push the burn highlights, not crush white, sorry. Burn highlights and crush blacks. Crush blacks you can, if you want, or if you like to. I like it. For more contrast in my images, I raise it up to almost 1, and the burn highlights somewhere like 75, 0.75, and so we have a nice contrast overall of the image. Now you can have a look at the saturation, maybe lower it to something like 0.8. So the colors are not too bright, too unnatural, and can play with the gamma as well, lower it or raise it, depends. And of course you can play with other things like the ISO, film ISO. If you half it, it was 100, now I set it to 50, you can see that it will become way darker overall, and I put it to 150. Now you can see a bit more in the background. You can play with all those numbers, all those settings. Use a factor of 2, makes it way brighter, and 0.5 will lower it, of course. And if you want vignetting, if you put in a minus number, a low number, you will have a white vignetting around, a circle around. And if you push it in plus, you will have a black one. Yeah, so you can play with this as well to focus on the center. So something like 25 is good in most cases. It gets a little bit darker in the corners. It's okay. It focuses more on the center. So I set this back to 1. This goes back to 100 maybe. Let's see if we like it. Yeah. Now it looks, there's a light coming from somewhere top here. Yeah. The shadow also indicates this. It's just a small shadow. She looks, to me, she looks lit good. There could be more. You can put another plane in front of her, behind the camera, and then she will be lit from the front a bit more. If you want to point out her clothing more, we can do this in a moment. New primitive, accept. We will do it here. Wait a second. So now rotate it until it fits her standing line, or from foot to foot. You can see. Sorry, it's my mouse. So from fruit to fruit, you rotate this way, scale it up again, just to with the part where the clothing is. So you can something like this, and then you move it out to the front. Until it's behind the camera. Or if you don't want to do this, so now it's in front, you can of course make it a ghost light too. First select it on Surface tab and then your Scene tab, make it emissive, make it a ghost light, 0.1205 and a 1. So now it's invisible here, but you can see it if you point your mouse on the plane. You can see the shape of the plane here. Make it double-sided, two-sided. Put this to 6500 to have a true color, the white, and raise it to kilo CDM per square meter. So now reduce or raise. Now you can see the red here on her clothing comes out much better. Let's say 900. Better. So it's a shiny clothing here, shiny sweet. You can decide, you can put as much light as you want into your scene and let it render then. And that's how I do my lighting. I usually put one spotlight to the upper body and the face, and I have to have this nice line here on the arms, on the legs, here on the arm, on the hair. On the head could be a little bit more at the moment, so we choose a plane that we can rename it to top. This one comes from the right, and this one comes from the front. So it raises top light a little bit more. So now you see face, this area is a little bit too bright. You can lower the spotlight a little bit. 8000 to 6500 maybe. Yeah, becomes better. Gets better. So just play with those settings and really until you like it, and then you can render it. Let's make a small render from it. 800 by 800. Let's see how it turns out in a render. We'll wait a second. So it won't take forever. We'll just take a few seconds until we have our first iteration. There it is. So far so good. It's really fast, 90%. So okay, that's of course it's way too grainy. You need to change some settings, but you can see that it's good. The light is good. If you want to have the spotlight more from the front, you can do it, of course. Go here, camera, spotlight, spotlight around. the middle spot somewhere here, or directly in her face, as you wish. You can do as you want, and then you can, render it. That's all I have to say about it. That's how I like my scenes, and if you like it, subscribe to my channel if you didn't have already, and you're welcome to ask any questions in the comments or meet me on Facebook, wherever you want to. Yeah, and I will let it render still a second, a little bit more. So if you like it, give me some feedback, give me some nice comments. I really appreciate it. Leave a like below this video if you want to, and if you have more questions, really just ask. It's no problem. I have a lot of time, I work a lot of time online, and yeah, I will answer usually really fast. Keep in mind the time zone between America and Europe. I live in Europe and Germany, so there can be a delay of my answer when I'm sleeping and you are awake because of the time gap. Yeah, okay. I hope you like it, and thank you for watching. Bye bye.